marriage is God ordained covenant relationship between a man and a woman. To confirm this in the scriptures, I'm going to be reading from the book of Matthew, chapter 19. I'm going to begin from verse 4, which says, Jesus answered, "Haven't you read the scripture that says that in the beginning the Creator made people male and female? And God said, for this reason, a man will leave his father and mother and unite with his wife, and the two will become one." So it is God ordained institution. It is God who made it that a man will live and then a woman too will live, and then they come together to become one flesh. So that is what the scripture tells us about marriage. And marriage is an institution. And in every institution, you learn, right? So in marriage, you learn. There's some habits you need to drop. There's some you need to pick up, and because it's going to help in your marriage. And marriage is not just a phase of life. It is an institution, like I said. You learn, you let go of your ego. You learn to be loving. You learn to be caring. You learn to be a family man or a family woman. You learn to love your kids. You learn to raise your kids. And you make mistakes, and you also learn from them. So in today's video, I'm just here to share 5 things that I've learned in my 8 years marriage. So there are more, but I'm just going to be talking about 5 of them. The first thing I've learned in my 8 years of marriage is to communicate better. Communication is meant to be done in a way that your partner will really understand what you are trying to say. So I like to express myself more in writing than speaking. So yes, I use that to my advantage, where I write before I approach my partner. I send him messages that this is what I'm feeling. Then I go to him, so that, because I don't really like to talk much, so I just go straight to the point, because he already knows what I'm coming to discuss. So first I do that by sending a text. This is how I'm feeling, this is what I'm thinking, and then we discuss it. But there are some communication that needs to be structured. You need to create time to really talk extensively about whatever it is that you may be feeling, or what you feel will help both of you in the marriage. I've learned to really understand what I'm feeling, so that I'll be able to express it better. So if I'm feeling sad, why? Is it because of what he said before leaving for work? So I really need to understand my emotions before, just moving around and not going straight to the point. This will help me communicate better, and he, on the other hand, will understand what I'm trying to say. So it is important that you communicate everything every time in your marriage, because if we are bottling up emotions, it doesn't really help. In my mental health training last night, we learned about bottling up emotions, and it was likened to when you have when you see a carbonated drink, or let's say Coca-Cola. You know how when you shake it vigorously and then you open it, you know how it just explodes, and it just messes up, and it just messes up everywhere. So that is how and what bottling up emotions looks like. when you start piling those things up in your mind and you don't talk about it, you just brush it off, there'll be a time you can no longer take it, and then you just explode. You can just explode on other people who do not know about what was going on. And I feel that it is not so good. So communication has really helped in my marriage. Also, I've learned to forgive. Guys, forgiveness is very important. And I've also learned that forgiveness is for me. Forgiveness is for me. Letting go is for myself to be free and be happy. I mean, if after I've expressed myself, and whether or not the person apologizes or not, I just choose to forgive. And when I forgive, I feel that I'm free. When I forgive, I'm always free. I don't let it take over me, because when you do, you may not be able to be effective in other things that you want to do. And so forgiveness is really important. It's kind of different when it comes to forgiving. It takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of strength. Like, you need to be intentional about forgiveness when it comes to marriage. There was a time in my marriage I needed to go back to the place of prayer before I could forgive. That was how bad it was. So if you feel that, oh, this is not forgiveness, sometimes it can be hard, but you need to for yourself, you need to be, and not to allow the enemy to come into your home to take advantage of that. So forgiveness is something that I've really, really, really learned, that I've seen in a different light, actually. I've learned to be prayerful in my marriage. Like, if you are a man or a woman, you are planning to get married, know that in marriage your prayer needs to be like this. Trust me, you need to pray. Honestly, I feel that, or from what I've studied, Satan, our enemy, is not happy with marriage, because the purpose for which God made it doesn't sit well with Satan. So he's going to look for every means to want to destroy, to want to use those little mistakes, weaknesses to creep in. So we as we wouldn't allow it. And to battle the enemy, you need to pray. You need to pray for yourself. You need to pray for your spouse. You need to pray for your children. You need to pray for the things that is going on around, for the ones you cannot even see. You need to pray over your children and around your children, everything that concerns you. Prayer itself, as children of God, you need to pray. But in my marriage, I've learned to pray, because I see that the home that prays, when you find a home that prays, where they pray together, it's hard for the enemy to bring it down. I'm not saying that Satan will not try. Obviously, there are going to be days of ups and downs, but at the end, the enemy will not win. Prayer is good. Prayer is important. I've also learned to sacrifice. Whew, that is big. I know. It's something most people don't want to hear, but if you want to have a healthy marriage, you need to be able to sacrifice. And sacrifice, I feel, is you giving without expectation. Sacrifice is, there are choices to make, but you just choose your family. You choose to do that which is going to please your family. So there's so many ways we sacrifice that. I know it's not only about you sacrificing your career or anything. There are other things that I have sacrificed in this marriage, and it's not that I regret. No, I know it's just for a while. You know, especially when you are raising children, for the women, there are things you may not be able to do fully, even if you are full time into your career. You may not be able to really do as much. Well, maybe I'm speaking for myself, but you know, it's not just the same anymore. It's never the same anymore. So these are some of sacrifices. You sacrifice your time, your energy, just to ensure that your home is peaceful, just to ensure that your home is in order. So yes, sacrifice is one thing I've learned, and it can be in many ways. Lastly, I've learned how to plan well. If you don't plan things in your marriage, like you need to plan as a family, you need to plan as a person, you need to plan for your children, because right now especially when they are at a young age, you need to plan for them, you need to help them to plan, you know. So I've learned to planning, you know. If you check my phone now, I have like 2-3 apps that I use for my, just to organize my day. I have one that I just list out the things I want to do. I have one that will remind me, and I have one that is in calendars, just to plan, so that, because there's so many things to do. There was so many. Being in marriage is now different from when you were single. Now you are responsible for your man, you're responsible for your children. So you need to do things in a way that will make life easy for yourself. So learning to planning has helped, because I know what I'm going to do today, next week. And don't get me wrong, sometimes the planning things just comes up, and planning has to stay somewhere. Those things you've planned has to stay, and then you need to, and so but you still need to know how to plan. So planning has helped me to be organized, because I am someone I cannot be in a place that is disorganized. My mind doesn't work if things are disorganized. So I like to organize things, I like to plan. So guys, these are 5 things that I've learned in my marriage. If you are planning to get married, guys, you need to take up some habits. You need to learn some skills, your communication skills, your planning skills, your organization skills. So many skills to, I don't want to put people in box because you want to get married, but the ultimate thing is be a better person before you go into your marriage. Do everything you can, to just be that person that will make a positive impact in your home, and it will also reflect in every area of your life. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and bye for now.